So now we have part 2 and 7 more girls that we need to see. What in the world do you all have going on? Let's get on into it. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for RuPaul's Drag Race. This is season 14. It's episode 2, which is actually the part 2 of the premiere. As I was talking about last week, Ru has actually broken it down. There's 14 girls total. There were 7 girls last week. Now we're meeting the second group of 7. Very interesting. Very interesting at the way they broke these girls up. Last week, it was like a interesting group of girls. This week, these girls seem like a group. They're a lot alike. Their vibe is a lot alike. I'm like, wow, okay. I didn't get it. I just didn't get it. I don't understand why they put these two groups like this, especially when you were going to eliminate one from each group. You didn't do a 14 eliminate 2. You did a 7 eliminate 1. And then you did it twice. And it's kind of weird because these girls all there was a lot of the same type of aesthetic here. What's going on? Thank you all for being here. What's going on, Lady Key and Carolyn and Fifi and So Steph and Char? Thank y'all for being here. So, okay, let's just go on. The first girl, her name is Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Just like it's a throw off of Gorgeous, which she absolutely is. Was. It's weird. When I first saw Gorgeous, she came out, she had on all this red. Child, she's a Hispanic queen. She is tiny. But these badass sandals on. I said, girl, yes, ma'am. And she had these 2 ginormous ponytails hanging down, and they were thick, and they were black. Just beautiful. She literally... her entrance walk, because for you to literally take and make your name off of the fact that you're gorgeous, you damn well better be gorgeous. And her entrance, breathtaking. I was like, now that is a pretty queen. But then I had to pull back on it because that look was stunning on her. And I'm not saying that she's not a pretty queen. She is pretty. But that look, her entrance look, was the only stunning look that I got from her. After that look, when we changed the hair and we changed the makeup, I didn't find Gorgeous as gorgeous as I did in the first look. The first look, she was literally breathtaking. Her as a blonde didn't knock me out. Her with this pullback hair and a little pump at the top made her look older, and it kind of made her face a little hard. It changed her look. So she's kind of like a chameleon, which that will definitely work. It'll work in her favor. When I found out she's only 6, she's young. She started doing drag at 16. So she is actually the youngest contestant there. And all of that came through. She really looked young and vibrant, and she did. And then as we went on, there were other looks that we know how young you are. So when I see you in a look that makes you look older, I was like, I don't know about that. If you're not acting, like if you're not doing an acting type of a challenge, or you're not trying to create a look where you are playing somebody older, why would you want to look older? So that was kind of my thing. So it's going to be with her. She's like a chameleon. Like I said, that could work for her, and that could actually work against her as well. So anyway, my first She did what you're supposed to do. Hey, TT's mom, you your first impression is your lasting impression. And on first impression, you got me, girl. You got me. You got my attention. Yes, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Um, and then it didn't hold. It's kind of like YouTube. When you like if YouTube, when you have somebody that has more subscribers than you and they shout you out, and then their subscribers give you a chance and they come over to your channel and they watch you, but then you can't hold them and your numbers don't grow at all from them shouting you out. That's kind of the feel that I got. Being as though we're talking YouTube down here. That's the feel that I got with Georgia's. But anyway, I'm gonna keep watching to see. She definitely has something to offer. She's from Tennessee. Then we had next there was her name is Deja Sky. She's from California. Okay. All right, girl. Right after her, we had Jasmine Kennedy. She is from New York City. Now, this is where I say a whole lot of like. Jasmine Kennedy is nothing but a few years older version of Georgia's. Their aesthetic is exactly alike. Some of their, they both are dancing queens and the whole thing. They're just literally like the same queen in two different bodies is what I actually saw. Now, trust me, Miss Jasmine is nowhere near as pretty as Georgia's. But again, they basically do the same thing. And when she came out, she was like, yeah, this bitch might be my competition, you think? You think? Y'all doing the same exact thing. After that, we got someone who actually broke history on the show. Matty Morphosis. Matty Morphosis is a whole dude. Okay? Matty Morphosis is a dude. Matty Morphosis is from Arkansas, and she is the very first heterosexual male contestant on RuPaul's Drag Race. So, Maddie made her story. Yeah. Moving on. Okay. Angeria Paris Van Michael. When I heard the name, I was like, child, this hoe is from this hoe gotta be from Georgia. And she is. She's from Atlanta, Georgia. She's country twang. Let me tell you who Miss Angeria reminds me of. Rest her soul. Angeria put me right in mind of Chi Chi DeVane. God knows I loved Chi Chi DeVane. Chi Chi DeVane was, and she's passed on for those of you who may not know. Chi Chi DeVane has passed on, but she was just a joy. She was just a ball of country fire, and she was fun, and you just couldn't help it. She had she had a magnet in her ass. You're just drawn to Chi Chi. And I see a lot of that same thing with Angeria. She really is just likable. She's likable. And she is a pageant queen. For all intents and purposes, she's a pageant queen. When I tell you she rolled in there clean as the Board of Health. And it seems that is going to be the thing that they're going to have to worry about with Miss Angeria, because she is on it as far as pageants. They're not going to never get her on looks. The hair is going to be right. Her clothing is going to be fit properly. And all. They're going to have problems with her. They are. She's just so damn polished. She really is. She's very polished. And she seems to know how to work with what it is she has. And again, she's not the prettiest queen, but of the ones that's there, she's the most polished. And as far as polish goes, I think the one right underneath, Miss Jasmine Kennedy is pretty polished too. But the boy, Matty, got a whole polish to what he does. Maddie got some things like they told him, your makeup could be better. Okay, makeup, child. Some people got a hand for makeup and are just excellent at makeup, and some people will just always learn as they go. Maddie got something going on, and if that's all y'all shouting out is just that his makeup, Maddie is smart in his movements. He is very well versed in his drag. Child, he's the most into drag boy that I've ever met. But okay, or I haven't met him, but that I've ever run across. We'll say that. Come on here, Maddie. But anyway, I like me some Angeria Paris than Michael, honey. I'm here for her. So I like her. Yeah. Well, Alex said, love her mug and stamp. Listen, child, she just screams Atlanta, Georgia. I'm here for it. So I'm rooting for her. Next we had Lady Camden. Lady Camden lives in California by way of London. She cool. She cool, but she gives you very UK drag. She very UK drag. It's gonna work for a little while. It's gonna work for a little while. The United Kingdom drag queens, it'll work for a little while. And then the girls from over here is gonna stomp her out, honey. That's all. That's all. She's going to do well probably at like acting and the comedy challenges and stuff like that. The campy stuff she's going to do well at. But when they tell her to throw a polish on it, they're going to stomp her out. That's just the way it is. And, I didn't make the rules. That's just the way it is. But I love it. I love her accent. I love that she is being unapologetically herself and she's not trying. That's the thing I liked about her. She's not trying to be exactly like the American girls. She's actually representing who she is. So I'm cool with her. Next was a queen, and I liked her. Her name is Deja, or Daya. Sorry, it's Daya. Diabetic. And they asked her, why is your name Diabetic? Because she is a diabetic. So I was like, okay. Now, as soon as they said that, I was like, okay, we'll see what goes on. She's from Missouri. I did like her right away because she reminds me of Milk. She reminds me of Milk. And y'all know, anybody been watching, I love Milk. Milk is weird and she's different, but I always loved Milk. Always loved Milk. I don't know why, but I did. I just always loved Milk. And that's in and out of drag. Milk is just funny to me. And I got the same thing from Daya. I liked her in and out of drag. I think I actually liked her better out of drag. Out of drag, like she was just like, oh, she's sweet, she's cool, like that. Like she had a really good personality, so I could definitely see how she actually got through to get on the show. And we'll talk a little bit more about where her issue is. We'll talk about that as we move forward. Right away, they were there. They came in, did their little thing. Ru came in and Ru wiped the smiles right off their faces. I said, oh, child, poor y'all, honey. When he told her, listen, there were 7 hoes here before y'all, and now ain't but 6 of them whores left. By the time we're done here, one of y'all gonna be gone. I was like, well, damn, Ru. And he moved them right on to the first challenge. It was a Tic Tac photo shoot. He talked about the little Tic Tacs. Y'all know when you get to the end, they do the little bowl of the Tic Tacs that you don't eat that look like they've been there since the show been there and all of that little thing. So they're doing a photo shoot with the Tic Tacs. And I said, oh, okay, so this is another photo shoot. I said, but this is not really Ru style. This is more Tyra style. Like, again, you have to be able to show up in the picture. But that's very Tyra. That's very America's Next Top Model. Here's the item. Now you got to outshine the mouse. Get the spazzing and shit. So that was very Tyra Banks. I was like, that don't make sense. And then Ru did one of his corny acting gigs and started hollering and throwing Tic Tacs. And they pulled the slide away. There's like a huge life-size bowl of Tic Tacs. I said, now here we go. Now this is Ru. This is Ru stuff. And they had to get in the bowl and do a photo shoot in the Tic Tacs. And each and every one of them, I didn't know who was going to actually win because, to be quite honest, every last one of them was hilarious. They were hilarious. It was good comedy where usually those little challenges, I'd be like sitting there like, oh, okay, we get to the commercial break, honey, and let's move on. You know, this is real and it's corny, being corny. But each one was hilarious. They were. I actually enjoyed the whole segment. But my girl Angeria won, honey. She won that challenge. Don't ask me what she did that made her stand out to win the challenge. I thought the photo shoot, it was kind of stupid, but they all were hilarious. Like they all played it up. Nobody got really bothered, or irritated or was nasty on set. So anybody could have won as far as I'm concerned. It wasn't no real big deal. So that was that. So we moved on from that. That was Tic Tac photo shoot. Goes into the CNT talent show. I said, all right. Now, this little talent show thing, of course, they're trying to do, and we ain't got to really go through all this. We went through this last week, trying to figure out is the charisma, nerve, and talent. So they want to get to know you. And it's really not about a drag performance. Now, in this group of girls, that's what we did. We had a lot of drag performances. And I was just kind of sitting there like, okay. Georges was out first. She came out first, and then they ran Jasmine right behind her. I said, Ru, you a shady old bitch. That was shady, shady, shady to run those two whores back to back when you know they do the exact same thing. Their aesthetic is exactly the same. Even the costume choices were damn near the same. They both come out but giving body, both got on 5 patent leather boots, both got fringes at the waist and the hip. So what they did was they both X'd each other out. It didn't really matter what either one of them did. They X'd each other out. Now I laughed at Miss Georges because I told you her and the blonde hair. I was like, because I had to look real good. I was like, oh shit, that's her. No, girl, don't wear that no more. Because it just didn't do anything for her. She didn't look bad, but it just didn't do anything for her. It really didn't. That didn't do anything for her. Neither one of them didn't knock me out. It was like we seen it. We've seen it before. It was just drag performance. They were dancing, pot of beret, death drop, jump up in air, spin into a split. Jasmine is very much remind you of Alyssa Edwards. Her whole dancing thing, it reminds you of Alyssa Edwards. She can do it though. Now the bitch is an old gymnast now, old nasty piece of gymnast, and that's where she'll get Georges. Is that her dancing is a bit stronger, but Georges is quite a bit prettier. But both of them bitches is built like a brick shit house. And again, their aesthetic, they're going to keep canceling each other out until they're both gone. That's just all that's going to happen. Anyway, moving on. Diabetes came out, and she was just basically what they called her a party clown. What's up, Malibu? She was like a party clown. I was like, all right, her talent, it was very milk. It was very milk, but that's where she's not milk. See, because milk could have did the talent, and we would have been, well, hey, Natalia, what's up, baby? Mwah. If milk was there and milk did that exact same talent, it would have had a whole different life to it because there's only one milk. And there have been many girls who have actually come here who are like milk, who you can see sometimes have kind of patterned themselves after milk. There is only one milk from RuPaul's Drag Race. I love that bitch. I love milk. Same thing with Nina. Y'all remember Nina from season 1? There's only one. Only one. I don't care how many bald-headed queens y'all get and bring them there and they stick a ponytail on top of their head and glue it. There is only one Nina Favors, and there will only ever be one Nina Favors. Nina Favors is a bad bitch, and that's been from season 1 going forward. There will only be one. So Nina, milk, It is what it is. We can have as many copies as we want, standalones, period. And neither one of them didn't win, but they won in the game of life. Get into that. Okay, so after the party clown, then we went into Lady Camden. Now, she's a dancer too. She is a classically trained dancer. She is a ballerina. Okay, so she does ballet. I didn't like all the lip syncs. You're showing all you have too soon. Keep your secrets in the pocket. And the thing is with Jamila, that it ain't even a secret because on this show, lip sync ain't really all that. They just kind of take for granted that you can do it. You better be able to. And when Georgia said, I'm a lip sync assassin, no, sweetie, you're not. You're not, because your lip sync wasn't even everything in that first. You're not. You're not. You're pretty, but you're not a lip sync assassin, love. Not yet. So I like your confidence, though, girl, but sit down. You're not. And they actually even said something about her lip sync could have been tighter. I was like, sorry, girl. Anyway, Lady Camden. Lady Camden came out and she danced, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you what she was trying to do. And she even used the song because she wasn't, that little dance. That the song is from the movie Center Stage. The whole performance is from the movie Center Stage. And then you tried to pull it in this thing and it didn't work because it's one of the baddest parts of that whole movie. And if you've never seen Center Stage, let me set this up for you. We go through, it's a whole movie. It's a whole dance movie about dancers and all this. And this one dancer really coming into herself, growing to be a woman and all of this and fattening herself as a dancer. And of course, you got a boy love interest and all of this. We go through this whole movie and we fall in love with her. We fall in love with him. And then, she's not the prima ballerina. So there's always that bitch that's always kind of looking down on you. Well, she ended up getting the role toward the end and she got her chance to really dance. And when I tell you she danced, honey, this is what Miss Thing decided to do. Now, in the movie, Rue had actually told this child, I'm a dance ballet. She said, girl, I went to, I said, Rue's so damn ignorant. She said, I went to the ballet, honey, a few times. It's boring. I said, no, RuPaul ain't telling nobody that performance was boring. Now, Rue, you tried it. But she said she was bored and told her, don't come up here and make me bored, honey. I said, oh, Rue, you shady. So Rue gave her what she needed to her, girl. Now, you got to be extra, bitch, because if you come up here with a swan song and it don't stay on my mind, honey, you're going to have to go. So she got on up there. We said the song is called Canned Heat by Jamiroquai. Thank you, baby. But yeah, so again, now we got a man song, so you ain't lip syncing. So you literally are dancing. So you got to really do something. Rue told this hoe to bring it. Now let me finish. In the movie, and the girl, she got her thing. Black and red dress. Just like in the movie, little dance dress. In the movie, cool. Girly in the movie did it on point. She was on point. She was on point doing this whole little thing. And there's this one old spin at the end, baby, where that bitch say, dance, 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 dance. That bitch be spinning, 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 spinning. And there's a whole part where her whole little outfit, the skirt just unravels out. Very drag. Miss Camden, honey, why didn't your skirt unravel, honey? You didn't even have to think up the gags. They were already there where you stole your number from. And you know good and well a room full of sissies seen that movie, honey. Why isn't the skirt unraveling, ma'am? The red pumps weren't enough. She did it in pumps. I said, girl, where's your toe shoes? Just do it on point. Do it like you do the movie. Ain't nothing wrong with character work. See, that's the upstep of drag lip sync performance. See, lip sync performance, we all can do it. But where you step your lips, if you are a lip sync assassin, and when you're a lip sync assassin, that is your step up, because you can pull any song and make it look just like you singing it. That's a real lip sync assassin, when you know all the breaths and all that. That's a lip sync assassin. That is their step up in their game, because everybody can't do that. Where you can do character work, you can look like somebody. That's your step up in your lip sync game. Everybody can't do it. All drag queens don't look like somebody else. All drag queens can't paint themselves to look just like somebody else. So if you can actually pull off character work where somebody has to, then that's the step up. This situation right here, she could have very easy, even if she can't do point, because all male dancers can't do point. But if she could, and there's a very selective few that can. Brooklyn Heights. See, Brooklyn Heights was here. Brooklyn Heights will burn the place to the ground on point. So, girl, anyway, all she had to do was just do the little thing with the skirt and have it unravel. And she had it all. She had the ponytail like the girl in the movie. She had the red and black dress. She had the cute red pumps. All she had to do to step that performance up is have her skirt unravel and just come apart, and she would have been fine. It would have been fine. But she didn't. But that was that. So she tried to copy center stage, and she ended up backstage. Anyway, moving on. Next was Deja Sky. Deja Sky did a comedy skit and fell completely flat on her face. She's a heavy queen, and she's a cheerleading choreographer. So she wanted to kind of do a spin off of like first day at cheering camp. It could have been funny, but for it to be funny, it needed time, editing, and it actually needs to be done in a whole like real skit, not something live. So it wasn't really funny, and it just kind of like fell flat. Moving on. Then Maddie Morphosis. Maddie Morphosis came out, and Maddie actually played the guitar live. First of all, no. She did like the blues. She played the hell out of the guitar. And the guest judge was Alicia Keys. Okay, so Alicia got it. You know, Alicia is really, really deeply into her music. So Alicia was all in for the music, but that look was horrible. She had this Joan Jett wig on and this suit. She just looked like a man. She just looked like a man with a bunch of makeup on. She really was looking like a sweet transvestite. She looked like him. And I was like, no, ma'am. Mm-mm, mm-mm, don't like it. Hey, Chantal, come on, making gumbo and collards, honey. So, yeah, that didn't work out. I was like, But the music was good. And then she played the guitar with her teeth. But again, they fussed at her because she didn't turn to the side so that they could have her tongue. She played with her tongue. They didn't turn to the side so that they could see what she was doing. So it really did. Right, Tim Curry with his funny ass, honey. So it just didn't work. It just didn't work. So that was that. Maybe next time. But it wasn't enough to kick her off about. Maybe next time, honey. She's a boy, honey. We'll give him a pass, honey. Moving on. So next we had Miss Angeria. I said, Miss Angeria, what you get ready to do, girl? Because you a pageant queen. Miss Angeria came out there and slammed their ass, honey. Now, she ain't no dancer, okay? And she ain't no singer. But what she came out there and did, the bitch did the things that I love. You know, I told y'all, shit, the RuPaul girls be having their own songs. I ain't no singer, but I want me a song too. Miss Angeria got her a song and came right on up there, and her song was hot. It was a little bop, honey, and she ain't trying to pretend to be no fierce singer. Her little song was cute boots. She came out, I told y'all don't want none of her as far as looks go. Miss Thing, she had a little dancing outfit, cute, on point, snatched. You know, she's built too. Snatched. Then she even did a little hair reveal, had this little, now I don't know about the little hair reveal, girl. It was a little better. But she went from pageant queen, big, big dance hair, and whipped it off. And then she was giving you slick back dyke, honey. I said, yes, girl. It was cool. It was cool. It was a drag, right, Malibu Baby. It was a drag performance, and it was on another elevation because the bitch was doing her own song. And I was here for it. I think she kicked their ass, personally, in the talent show. Because again, she did what she do. And it was one of those things. She understands pageantry. Pageantry is this. This is the trick to pageantry. And any pageant girl or pageant judge will tell you, it's not about being good at a category. It's not, and it never will be. It's about being consistent throughout the whole night. You don't have to be the best at gown. You don't have to be the best at talent. You don't have to be the best at interview nor on stage question. What you have to be is all right in all the categories, because consistency is what wins a pageant, not being the best at one of those categories. It's consistency that wins a pageant. Now, at a ball, being the best at that one category is what wins a ball. But a pageant is a whole different situation. And that is that. All right, so that's it. I ain't giving out no more free advice. Now, the next one of that y'all get, I'm going to give y'all an invoice at it. Anyway, but that's what Angeria was. She understands pageantry. And look, I ain't the best dancer, and I ain't the best singer. But I'm getting ready to suck y'all with this little song and this little 1-2, yang, yang, honey. And that's exactly what she did, and it was good to the last drop. I really enjoyed it. I actually watched it twice. I enjoyed it. And then she did, she studied. She studied. You see, she threw that old nasty piece of death drop in the end. And they were like, oh, girl, you did that death drop, and it was so perfect. Right. She's from Atlanta, honey, because she knows about a dip and not no death drop. A dip. Get into it. Miss Angeria, she tore her up, honey. Moving on. Right, Malibu Baby says she did what needed to be done. Yes, go on. I agree. Moving on. Okay, so the runway was sickening signature drag. So I was like, all right, let's go. Miss Georgia's honey tore it up. Tore it up. It was very cute, and it was very Hispanic queen, very Spanish. She had this whole purple. The purple was gorgeous. It was like a gown, and then it had like a reveal where it had like the train and all this fabric and all this, and she kind of whipped it off. It was really a coat, and underneath she had this nude stone bodysuit. It was very pretty, but we've seen it before. But it was done well. It was done well. Whoever designed it, it was done well. It was fitted well. Bitch looked good. The hair, I could do without that. I thought the hair made her look a little hard, made her look older. So I wasn't crazy about her hair, but the outfit was fabulous. Moving on. And this is the other thing. She needs to, sweetie, when you're doing runway, do runway. Stop dancing. Stop dancing. Because there's a distinct difference between runway and dancing. And she was dancing. All that kicking your leg way out. And I noticed that a lot from girls who actually dance. Dance when it's time to dance. Do runway when it's time to do runway. Just slow down. Pull it in. Yeah. It irritates me. That's one of my little things. It irritates me. When you do runway, you do spin. You do turns. When you do dancing, you do spins. You spin when you're dancing. You turn when you're modeling. It's not that hard. Anyway, moving on. All right, Miss Deja. She did. It was cute. It was cute. She did again, she's a big girl, so she did the head wrap. She had the head wrap, and her face was painted, and she did this black lip. It was real drastic. I was like, okay, cool. But then she was in like black lace, and it was bitch body was snatched. They had her snatched, and she was looking really good. Is this whole mermaid? Y'all know I love that whole mermaid moment, honey. But her bottom, her poof at the bottom was like ballooned. It was very Ross, and she even had the whole coat and everything, and it was cool. Yeah, I ain't really big on prints like that, but it was cool. It had a little fun thing to it, But I like the silhouette. I really did like the silhouette, and she was really put together, and it really nice. So that worked for her. Jasmine spanked the shit out of him with this gold gown, and she really did give you a whole '60s mod child. Yeah. Her look, honey, the big ponytail on, looked like she had just jumped up and did a line of coke, honey, at the Studio 54, baby. It just came and slayed. One of the best breastplates that I've ever seen. She had one of the most realistic breastplates I have ever seen. I said, Miss Thing, that damn cleavage, that décolletage was realness. Yes, she did give you very Valley of the Dolls for realness. She was sharp. She was sharp. But now, Malibu Baby, what did you think about her breastplate? That breastplate, what, child, if you didn't know any better, you would have swore. If I didn't see her a few scenes before with her flat boy chest, I'd have said, no, this hoe is on moans, honey. But one of the best plates I have ever seen. But she was clean in that gold gown. It was really sharp. And it really was, she was on it. She was on it. That was a really good look. I really enjoyed that one. Maddie, brilliant. It was brilliant, and I have to agree with Michelle Visage for a change. It could have really went costume, but it did actually fit sickening signature drag. He came out with like his head got chopped off. He was carrying his head, and it was just done so well. It was done so well that you couldn't even look at it like a costume. It was like, damn, like you did that. It was literally a show-stopping runway look. It really was. It was just too good to just be a costume. But yeah, that was done really good. Really good. So I enjoyed that as well. Miss Angeria, this bitch came out there, honey, in an evening wear ensemble, honey. That screamed pageant, honey. I said, move out of the way, honey, for Miss Black America, honey. Come on, girl. This thing, she snatched them, honey. Not Runway. She was so done. I was like, oh my God. I mean, not a bead or a bauble out of place. She was clean as the Board of Health. I was like, girl. Body, she was clean. Clean. I said, girl. And not a drop of skin showing. That was the gag. Not a drop of skin showing. It wasn't no nudish gown. It wasn't overly sexualized. It was just a solid, fierce ass beaded and satin gown, pageant gown. Not overly provocative or anything. Just clean as hell. Please. That bitch looked like money. She looked like money. She was sharp. Said, okay, Miss Angeria. And then Lady Camden came, and she basically really did show her London roots, honey. And she came out as a peacock, basically. It was another thing that could have very easily went, oh, that's a costume. Or, oh, that's a club kid. But it didn't fall either way. It was like a mix, and she was right in the middle, and it literally did give. I'm not going to say it was a sickening signature runway look, but it was a runway look nonetheless, because it could have been elevated even more, because like she had the peacock tail and she was able to pull it and it kind of fanned out. for me to say it was a sickness, it would have had to go even bigger. Like it had to be bigger and fuller and give me like Vegas showgirl type poof, like that. But it was good. It was good. It was cool. And it was very her. It was true to her brand. So I was here for it. It was cool. Not an hour war, I could have pulled that off, but it was cool for her. Diabetes came out and she had this lace ribbon situation. Very right, Natalia. She did put you in Manor Courtney Act. Very slim. You can see her body. Like her body was together. Again, the no titty thing I can't get into. But I'm gonna tell you what it looked like. It looked very Tim Burton. Hey, Deanna, it was very Tim Burton. It was given The Corpse's Bride. And this is where they got her. This is where they got her. Diabetes is Crystal Meth's daughter. And when she goes into these looks, she these blue hair, and that blue hair, it was sculpted beautifully. It was like ugly. It was like an ugly, scary Tim Burton look, but it was sculpted to perfection, just like Crystal Meth. Her whole downfall is that she just looks too much like her drag mother. It was like, girl, who are you, honey? Because you just look like Crystal Meth. And we already had Crystal Meth. So that's where her downfall came. Anyway, Angeria ended up winning the whole thing, which I figured she won the talent show. She won the best runway because she slayed them. That bitch kicked their ass. She won flat out. $5,000. I said, yes, ma'am. Deja and Daya ended up at the bottom, and they had to do Falling, Alicia Keys. And that's how I felt about it. Whatever. I'd have rather Alicia got on up there, honey, and did New York, concrete jungles where dreams are made of. I could have watched Alicia sing a little taste of that rather than these two whores over here playing in her other song. So I didn't care about either one of those. And quite honestly, I didn't care which one went home. But I just sat on over across my legs and said, come on, Ru, do shit. Ru took Diabetes and sent her home. Sent her home. And here's the shade. Here's the shade already. And I probably shouldn't even say this on this live, but I'm going to say it. I kind of thought that Diabetes would go home earlier on. I don't know, just something in my spirit. And not to say that they do this, but when she said that she was diabetic, and they made like a little joke about her diabetes. And she said something about, if I do, like, some of the challenges here, if it's too strenuous, I might pass out. And I was like, I said, she ain't gonna last long. They're not gonna keep her long. Because if her diabetes is actually at that point where like it bothers you to where you pass out and stuff, I said, no, she ain't gonna be able to swing it, because what you see is what you see on this show. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. It's very stressful. The days are very long. The filming is long, y'all. It's not, the show is not nearly as easy as they make it seem. It really isn't. So I kind of thought, I said, nah, she ain't gonna stay too long. If her diabetes is not really snatched to the point where it ain't bother, because they can't chance her hurting herself. And I said, maybe I'm just thinking too hard. But then Ruth sent her home, so I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but I ain't edited it out. I said it what I said. I said it. Now somebody come and tell me that I'm wrong. Anyhow, but this is it. This is how it actually went down. You say Rue might as well have escorted her off set when he said, Malibu Bearby is messy as hell. That's why I love him. Anyway, that was it. That was the second set. So we got all 14 girls, 2 of them hoes that have been sent home. And yeah, it just kind of is what it is. And I'm out of here, and I will roll up with y'all next week to see what happens next. But it's good. It's good. I still don't know why he put all them girls together like this in this episode, because all these second seven, they seem so much similar to each other that I think it would have been more interesting if we'd have just did all 14 and then let them battle it out. But anyway, whatever. But we just keep watching, y'all, and I'll keep fussing, and we'll do what we do. Anyway, I will catch y'all later. Bye, y'all. Have a great weekend.